the slavery, the bravery, the trials, tribulations of the colored across all of the nations, separation, degradation, and the dirt they all facing from the mud. They shall come, singing in sun for decades to come, making no sums, taking their sons. For the wicked shall come, full stricken from one who's picking their funds. Stay digging the scum, lay blood. It shall run from the people who give life and lung. U.S. in its north and the south got guns in his pouch for the sings as it bows when he rings unbowed. Listen, attacked by lack of information, grabbed by the speculation of a ranks of the banks failing the nation. State that it's our destination, but the government failed its own creation. A split and divide over lives that have died as Lincoln resides. A rage in the ties from cash and the lies that think it subsides. Why should the guise of our lives be left in the white man's eyes? In strength we stand as the north side bands, hear the armies cry. Feature Stowe as a teacher doe features what they know, and the horror showed explore their episodes like a horror show of what's down below and the colored what they undergo with poetic flow that's slow to grow. When money becomes priority over minorities, nor for the majority, but to the authority holding seniority, trying to save face with the Lincoln Douglas debate, also lost in the Dred Scott case, gave chase to the Harper's Ferry raid, and all the slaves that John Brown saved as he was hanged, as the North sang while the South sank with no thanks. Why can't they learn to listen? Why can't they learn to listen? I'm tired of being in this desperate position. Cut my ears and let their blood glisten. Don't let their worst condition. Maybe then we'll get the recognition. Blessing is my definition. Even if we're both Christian, they'll still be in my opposition. Not one to ask for permission, especially when our proposition turns to competition. Walt Whitman in his stories given were so Christian to pick the man with love as a mission, ambition to break the prison and change social superstition and the cognition conditions of the division between both men and women and the opposition towards same-sex traditions coming to fruition in poetic renditions. Women tired of submission don't need permission to have the ambition to load ammunition as they enlisten, acting as they audition as a man to avoid the prohibition of women in the military, the authenticity of who they will ever be. See Jenny Irene found herself in between the Civil War scene at 19 as she's seen 3 years of fighting. Unseen as a real queen as a really be, later deemed as upsane and insane with no brain and detained, not seen as the same. There sucks to blame and 400 more with made up names. Civil war is beneficial for the acquittal poor, crippling the prejudicial core in the official war like it's civil core. So let's fast forward to 1901 and 4 with the World at War. Later sparked discussions for the repression tours who were fighting for freedom sore lead to the Harlem Renaissance in response to neglecting ones, reflecting costs of the constant cost of rejecting thoughts of the intellectuals, black or bisexual, thoughts of being any kind of sexual, no longer conceptual. Emma Gold and what her message told had a massive soul on homosexuals and how it manifolds in the world we know to begin to grow like the seeds these people sowed. Another one to know is a singer showed a homosexual known as Gertrude Pridget. The woman they exhibit, love they permitted as a one-way ticket to a life forbidden but drop submit. Cop bust hit. The party restricted and Mulroney ended as the group hit its limit as an old-told secret. I would like to take a moment to thank those who use the beauty of the arts, music, and poetry to express themselves and paint the realities of what it was like to be living in 19th century Americas, and how their message stood before their time and its sound can still be heard today. These people include Langston Hughes, Countee Cullen, Zora Neale Hurston, Professor Alan Locke, Blueswoman Mulroney and Bessie Smith, Ethel Waters and Gladys Bentley. Thank you for all of our brothers and sisters, especially those who go unnamed, for taking your creative liberties and freedoms for the time to fight for a better future, to potentially sacrifice your livelihood in a period of uncertainty and suffering and censorship. Thank you for pushing for the righteous, not just for a better America, but the golden standard world should strive to be every day in His glory. The Lavenders scared to the feds and of whom it shares its leading chairs. They use more than prayer to make the gays aware of their love affairs. The despair of the questionnaires steals hate in the air as it's unfair to compare who we swear in office because of the love they bear or the pride they wear hits them in a state of disrepair as as it tears, accusations of who and there and everywhere, cause you don't care if it's not your love you share or the beast of bear, like Christine Jurgensen, in between searching for the perfect type of person, for them to be birthed in, not what they emerge in, rather what they wanna be served in, veteran, unheard, and the church and the news start converging, blew up as words start surging, an inspiration to the lay person, fire keeps bursting, hear this excursion. The Stonewall riot, they try to keep us quiet, but we cannot hide it. We will not disguise it. Only way to fight it, because they label us as defiant, but maybe we're just biased or not being private or being compliant for which way we're flying. But I feel the heat of the climate as it keeps on climbing. We won't deny us. We need to stand by, not committed by the pigsty and the fuzz as we ran by what was because instead of what will become. They arrest us for who we are as they burn down our only bars called bizarre, subpar with what you discard. Only wishing from the stars will still go far with this broke heart. Marked now as our chance at equal power. The LGBTQ movement and the extent that its significance holds is unmatched as the echoes from the past we still hear today as we carry the unheard screams of those who are wronged for their sexuality, for simply being who they are, honors for a better future for where we aren't in fear or shame for the love we have for each other. The Civil War is a parallel for the progress underscored and what we're fighting for with all the hate galore and the words they implore. They unlock people they deplore, being lethal as they explore what's illegal to small amounts of different people they consider evil, called weak and feeble, for who they swore to adore with no upheaval, met with war and what's in store from the general people as they ignore and called for anti-wars. They walk over the same people left on the floor, but what was washed ashore was the same ones wanting more and to not just restore but fly and soar in a world that still cared anymore, prepared to go to war for what they believe in for and the trauma they people bleeding and left sore, damage to the core, but we can't take it anymore. We gotta break these social norms and cause for reform. We're all American. We'll fight in the same wars, we'll work in the same stores. Men should love more each other they can lean towards. Women should come forward and admit who their love's towards without fear of scorn and unequal awards with words like swords just for who they are and conform to the social bar instead of the stars they really are. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. I love you. Peace.